I never told that individual until the end what I truly wanted, and that's on me.
Do you think it would be better for us to reverse that?
100,000%.
Why were you afraid to say that?
Because I'm not used to being vulnerable with the people that I date.
What's the purpose of being in a relationship?
Oh God.
To be vulnerable. My expectations are different than yours and vice versa, and that's where communicating is a big deal. And when you use the example of like, well, I want kids, and the person's like, well, I'm focused on my career now, it's like one person is going to continue on doing their thing, and the other person's going to be in the back like, when is it our turn or my turn?
Right.
And I know like relationships are a lot of like a push and pull and compromise, but like we said earlier, like there are deal breakers.
Absolutely.
And I think you have to be honest with yourself, even though it's going to be really painful, and be like, I want children. This individual, I don't know, probably not, probably will. But again, those probablys, like, you know.
Like they didn't give me a definitive yes.
Yeah. Because one thing to say, yes, I want children, just give me a year working at this job. That's different.
That's good communication.
Yeah.
Because now I can develop an expectation.
Saying, oh, I don't know, work my career. What does one do with that? So I think
Exactly.
I think you have to be honest with yourself. Like, for me, in that previous
situation.
Yeah, in the previous situation.
I'm just using your words.
I never told that individual until the end what I truly wanted, and that's on me.
Can you say that again, please?
I never told that individual what I wanted.
Until when?
Until it ended.
Okay.
Until it was obvious that it was done.
Do you think it would be better for us to reverse that?
100,000%. But I was too scared, and that's a lesson too.
Wait, hold on. I want to stay with that because we were talking about fear earlier.
Yeah.
I think of everything in themes. Why were you afraid to say that?
Because I'm not used to being vulnerable with the people that I date.
Oh, hold on. I got to repeat that. So she said she's not used to being vulnerable with the people that she dates. So that's the premise.
It's like Survivor out here.
Okay.
You have to like...
So this is good because you both were kind of giving me similar impressions right now on this topic.
Oh.
No.
Making impressions.
No, it's not a bad thing. No. I'm just
no,
listening.
I know.
Yeah.
Just listening. Because you're saying things like Survivor. We're talking about fear. You're saying I can't be vulnerable. You said I can't be vulnerable. What's the purpose of being in a relationship?
Oh God.
To be vulnerable.
No, is that you saying that, or is that because you think that's what I want to hear?
No, I think the purpose of a relationship is to share your life with someone and to have those emotional, deep conversations with, and you know, to have honestly like a best friend, but a romantic partner. Like that's probably, at least in my opinion, in my viewpoint, the point of it.
Okay, Joy. What's the purpose of being in a relationship? For you. I don't think there's a right or wrong answer. I'm just asking.
I mean, I guess I don't really have a definition right now because I'm not necessarily looking.
Well, if you were, like, why would you want to seek somebody out?
I think support, unconditional support, somebody that's gonna root for you, and somebody that's gonna be there regardless of how things are looking, if things are going well or not. I think somebody you want consistency.
Or
at least for
like
me.
Stability.
Yeah. So at least that would be my purpose for a relationship is, you know, sharing your life with someone, but someone that is going to support you unconditionally.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I hear the stability part. So you said something, and I hear you didn't touch on the same thing. Do you believe you need to be able to be vulnerable to have that relationship grow and be stable?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Is it easy? No.
But do you believe it's necessary?
Yeah.
Okay. The reason why I brought that up is because when you mentioned it a moment ago, you said, but I don't do that. So that's sort of a contradiction.
Oh, I'm full of them.
No, but I'm making.
You sound like my therapist now. Yeah.
I promise I'm not trying to be.
No, I get what you're saying. No, I mean, because dating now, this is my perspective of dating now.
Oh, gosh.
I've been dating for a couple of years now.
I love the sound effects, Joy.
It has its good, it has its bad. Are there good people out there dating? Yes.
Of course.
100%.
Mixed bag.
But the reason why I say survivor is that you have a lot of people who are dating with like an insecure attachment style who don't view themselves in a high regard, and sometimes don't view others in a high regard. And so with that, sometimes it comes like a lot of games, a lot of toxicity. Like I said, like I'm 23 years old. I've been dating since honestly I was like 20 years old.
Okay.
I was a late bloomer, and
that's okay.
That's
hey,
fine.
Listen, you're,
in my scope. To
me, you're right where you're supposed to be.
In my scope,
totally fine,
right?
Totally fine.
And like I said, like there's good in it, but there's also a lot of games that come into dating, unfortunately. When you don't want to participate in that, you're often left alone, and so that can also be really difficult too. So
respect.
It's really hard to date, honestly.
No, I agree, and I will add to that because I think it's not only is it challenging because some people aren't ready. Like I would distill it down to that. I think there's a lot of people that are not ready. Try to make it appear that they are, but they're not, because they have a lot of things that they need to deal with. Yeah. Like I was saying earlier, like you can be a better version of yourself before you try to put yourself out there. That's been my lived experience, and a lot of the clients that I've talked to are sometimes very, I don't want to say frustrated, very discouraged.
That's the word to use.
That the people that they want, they can't find because of the experiences that they have. Whether it's, and it could just be one. It may not be like you have 5 negative experiences. It could just be one. But what I say is that I think, this is just my opinion, I think the reason why a lot of it happens is because even in our discussion we're having right now, I think we operate without very clear objectives of what it is that we're trying to do.
Oh yeah.
Like I used to work in higher ed. I used to be an advisor as well. So I kind of think of it in terms of when you go to pursue a career, right? You work with an advisor. Why? Because you need a path and you need a plan to get where you're trying to go. Right? That fair?
Yeah.
But I think when it comes to dating, there is no path. It's almost like if I blindfolded you and just started throwing darts on a board. Mm-hmm. Let's see what happens. Let's go on the roulette table. And to me, it's very obvious that those are a big reason why we have the experiences that we do. Because again, I think we don't operate intentionally to do things like date. We don't intentionally communicate. We don't intentionally lay down our boundaries and our deal breakers. We don't do any of that stuff intentionally. And yet we're surprised that we get upset. And this isn't like me talking to you all. This is me making a bigger discussion. I think that is a big reason why we find ourselves sort of on these hamster wheels. And we're like, Why is this situation happening again? And how come this person behaved the same way? I think we need to reflect and look honestly and say, listen, what am I doing in terms of putting out there clearly what I want? And when, like you said earlier, when somebody says they don't want to give it to me, it stops right there.
Yeah.
There's no like, I'm going to continue to engage, because you've already made it clear you don't want to give me that.
Yeah.
I'm not going to change your mind. Yeah. And I don't want to change your mind. I want you to want what I want when I want it too.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Totally,
yeah. And that's the goal, right? To like be in that mindset. And it took for me a lot of heartbreak and a lot of disappointment that sometimes I put on myself.
Sure, many of us do.
Yeah.
You're not by yourself.
And then it wasn't until I realized, wait, why should I mold what I want? Similar to what Joy was saying, like, why should I mold what I want to what you want? Like, I matter too.
Of course.
And what I want matters. But to get to that point, unfortunately, at least in my experience, I had to go through a lot. And I wish I didn't have to. I wish I just kind of knew that.
I agree. And listen, I'm saying these things not because I always knew.
Oh yeah.
I had to get hurt a lot too.
Yeah.
And the reason why we're talking about it, because I want them to learn. Right? Because a lot of us, we don't have people telling us this information. We don't have good role models. We don't have the best examples. We don't have individuals that we actually engage in these type of discussions with. So then where the hell do you learn it from? You don't. You learn the hard way.
Yeah.
And some people don't recover from those. Some people give up. They're like, I have one bad experience. That's all there is. So then I'm just going to withdraw. And that makes me sad. Because those people, I don't think anybody goes through life. I don't care how introverted you are. Everybody wants somebody. I don't think we're meant to go through life on our own. But when I have these experiences, like you said earlier, if I feel like I'm getting burned all the time, I might start making those type of assumptions. Well, you're all going to be this way anyway. So why waste my time? Now, that's not true. But if I feel like the summary of all this, or the culmination of all this experience is, yeah, that's what it is out here, then maybe I'm just going to withdraw and just give up.